In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can grow a 1/4 pound of lettuce in one red solo cup. It's actually really easy. What is going on, you guys? Nick here again with the Bravo 6 Gardener YouTube channel. If you guys end up liking this video, I would super appreciate a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing many more gardening, how-tos, tips, and tutorials videos. Guys, we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to start off by saying that I'm definitely not the first person to grow lettuce or vegetables for that matter in red solo cups. Definitely not reinventing the wheel or anything like that. But a lot of people don't know that lettuce can be grown in really small spaces. And this is going to be great for the gardener that's just getting started. It's going to take up hardly any space. You're hardly going to use up any resources. It's going to be really easy. You cannot mess up growing lettuce. This is one of my lettuce plants that I have growing in one of my red solo cups. I'll bring it in close so you guys can take a little bit better look. That is insane. One little red solo cup, you can grow all that lettuce. So there's going to be a few keys to getting this lettuce to grow properly in a red solo cup like this. The first key here is we want to make sure that we are growing this in what we call a high intensity fashion. Basically what that means is, as opposed to thinning this down to just one plant, we're actually going to plant like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seeds, and we're going to basically just let them all grow. Now, to someone who's new to gardening, this might sound a little bit crazy. Lettuce is one of the few plants where it can actually have other plants growing basically right on top of it or right next to each other. This one, I believe, yeah. So this one, you can see in there, there's like 7 plants growing in there. And this doesn't really bother lettuce at all. The root systems, they're gonna basically just intertwine with each other. They're not gonna get stressed out really. Now, obviously it's not going to grow to its full size. We're gonna be cutting this for baby leaf lettuce. It's not gonna grow into a full head, but you are still gonna get a ton of lettuce out of this. And when you're doing this, I'm definitely gonna recommend the double cup method. So you can see we've got 2 cups here. Basically what that's ensuring is that the roots of the lettuce are not sitting in water. If the roots are sitting in water in these cups, it's going to cause root rot. That can basically weaken or kill the plant. We're basically just cutting holes anywhere. You can do it around the edges or you can do one on the bottom. I just take scissors and basically just snip 4 little cuts on that, and it's going to give you a good amount of drainage, or you can do one on the bottom. It'll work fine either way. And then basically you just put rocks down in there. I don't know if you guys can see. You don't need all those rocks. You can actually just do 1 or 2, and that's going to create that gap between there so that if you do have excess water, it can come down. The next key to getting lettuce to grow in this small of a container is going to be using a good quality, well-draining mix for our soil. So obviously with there being anywhere from like 3 to 7 plants in here, the roots are going to need something really loose so that they can easily move down to the bottom of this cup. I just used Burpee seed starting mix. This one has a little bit of plant food so it can kind of get it off on a good start, because usually there's not a lot of nutrients in a seed starting mix. This one actually does have a little bit. So what I did is I basically just took this and I mixed in a little bit of a granular fertilizer. Granular fertilizer is going to give you kind of a slow, steady release of fertilizer, and that's really all you have to do as far as soil. The main reason we're using a seed starting mix for these is because we're partially growing these indoors. I started them inside. I've been moving them in and out. I'm eventually going to have them all the way outside, but when we're growing stuff indoors, we don't want to bring in any outside soil. You'll bring in pests, bugs, that kind of thing. And again, if you just basically combine this with a granular fertilizer, that's going to give you a really good soil that'll work well for this kind of setup. And then as far as feeding the plant when it gets growing, we're eventually going to want to use a liquid fertilizer for this. Again, this is going to take up a lot of nutrients, so we do want to supplement it with a liquid fertilizer. And we're going to be doing that anywhere from like 5 to 7 days. Now, some of you guys might be thinking that's a lot. Again, with the small amount of soil and the high quantity of plants we have in this, it's going to be eating up a lot of nutrients. So that's kind of the thought process there. In order for these to grow this big and healthy, you do have to fertilize them very very regularly. And same goes for watering. Again, when these are starting out, when they're seedlings, you're not going to be having to water them very frequently, probably 2 to 3 times a week. But when they do start to get some size to them, close to like this, you're going to be watering either every day or every other day. With lettuce, you definitely want to make sure that the soil does not dry out on you. It is something that likes to stay fairly moist. And guys, I'm actually going to plant one out here. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. I have that seed starting mix in there. I've already made it up. Basically just 1 cup of it. Again, we've got the double cup method. I just have 1 rock in there. That's all you need. You can put a few more in. You don't have to though. Just something to create a gap down in there. We're going to be planting the Lola Rosa leaf lettuce. I figured I got all the greens already. We'll do something red, add some color in there. We want to make sure that the soil is pre-moistened. I've already went ahead and done that. We basically want to make sure that we can get as much soil in this as possible with it being a little bit of a smaller container. If you don't pre-moisten it and then water it, you're going to lose probably an inch or 2. So with pre-moistening this, you're going to get a little bit more soil in there. So you're going to get a little bit more room for nutrients, water, that kind of thing. Again, we want to plant out probably 10 or so seeds. And we're basically just going to agitate the inside, and we're just going to kind of plant them everywhere. Again, when we're planting out this many, you want to kind of space them out a good bit. You don't want to put them all in the same spot. Don't put them out too much towards the edge because they won't have room and the roots will grow funky. So you kind of just want to do kind of like a 2-inch circle in there, and just to get them spaced out a little bit. And then we basically just cover them up. Don't plant them too deep, anywhere from like a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch down. Give them a pat. Don't pat them too hard, but you do want to make sure that you have good compaction. You pretty much just water them in after that. If you've already pre-moistened it, you don't have to water it super heavy. I like to use a spray can as opposed to dumping water in it. With little seeds like lettuce, you can disturb them very easily or they can get displaced really easy. So the spray gun basically is just going to make sure that they get watered in without disturbing the seeds. Now it's going to take about 4 to 5 weeks from your planted seeds to this, and we're going to cut this in what we call a cut and come again fashion. Some of you guys are already going to know this, but with lettuce you can actually cut most of, if not all of your lettuce off, and it's going to regrow. That's how you're going to be able to get a 1/4 pound of lettuce from this. 3 cuts from this cup is going to give you about a 1/4 pound. You'll actually be able to get anywhere from like 3 to 5 cuts from this. So if you're able to get that 4th or 5th cut, you can actually get closer to like a 1/2 pound of lettuce, which is crazy. Again, with this coming just from the little red solo cup, I think that's so cool. Guys, I'm actually going to harvest this one just so you guys can get an idea of how much lettuce you can actually get from it. You can basically get like a whole salad from one of these cups, which again is crazy. I've got a bowl. I'm going to cut it out just so you guys can see. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you just have a really sharp knife. Basically what you want to do, you just want to go about 2 inches up from the base of the plant. You don't want to go all the way down because again, we're going to want this to regrow back. So we want to leave some of the plant, but basically we're just going to grab it all up like that. If you've got a sharp knife, you're going to be able to just go back and forth and you're going to get basically all the lettuce off that. So take a look. That is like a whole salad from one red solo cup. I think that's pretty awesome. And again, just so you guys can see, we're just leaving the base of that plant. This is going to regrow at least 2 more times. The 4th or 5th cut might get a little bit bitter. That's why we say 3 to 5 cuts. So guys, I'm curious to hear if y'all have ever grown anything else in red solo cups before. Comment down below if you guys have ever been able to grow anything else. Like I said, pretty easy. I think it's so cool again that you can get that much lettuce out of one red solo cup. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned something new. Again, I'm Nick. This is my YouTube channel, The Bravo 6 Gardener. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would super appreciate a thumbs up. Also, if you guys want to see more how-tos, tips, and tutorials on gardening, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.